Right. Hello. You are welcome to today's broadcast on Science of Dunia TV with your regular host, Solomon Bamidele. And today, we want to continue with our last broadcast topic in the event of the second wave of COVID-19, part 2. In the event of the second wave of COVID-19. We were made to understand the last broadcast, there have been speculations, agitations, and expectations that there will be the second wave of COVID-19. The world leaders, World Health Organization were speculating and planning, and every leaders in every sphere of life, they were already planning towards how they will cope the widespread or adverse effect of COVID-19 on their populace. Therefore, it will be good for every individual to start to plan on how we will handle the possible effect of the second wave of COVID-19. Remember that proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Yes, while I will salute all the faith group, and I will salute all our confession of faith, and while I will salute all thought of positivity, I will also encourage that we need to prepare. You see, if we leave things for chances, we live at the mercies of events. If we leave things for chances, we will live at the mercies of events, situations and circumstances, element of weather will determine our happiness and lack of happiness in every situation like this. Therefore, it is very, very important for us to also plan in advance or in expectation that there could be the second wave of COVID-19. Why do we say this? There are certain things, like I said yesterday during our warrior watch night. There are certain things you can't prevent. There are certain things you cannot stop. There are certain things, prayers, confession of faith cannot stop. And one of them is the prophetical agenda of God. One of them is the prophetical agenda of God. COVID-19, while I will submit, God did not send COVID-19 to punish the populace, to destroy anything. Like I said in one of the first broadcasts, COVID-19 is just as a result of the social system reacting to the abuse of human being. I mean, to the abuse that we, the human being, the mankind, places on the nature. The way we are using the social system, the environment, abuse of it, not adhering to the law, the principle of nature. These are as a result. That's number one. Number two, it is the prophetical agenda of God. Those of us that we are the faith group I'm a Christian by the grace of God. In the book of Matthew, chapter 24, Jesus clearly stated what will be the events that will characterize the last days. The events that will characterize the last days. Go and read Matthew 24. And you will discover all things that are happening in these last days. They have actually been predicted 2020 years ago when Jesus Christ was alive. And those things are being before he was born as a son to the face of the earth. So what are we saying? What we are saying is this. Such things that they are part of prophetical agenda of God, no prayer can stop it. No prayer can stop it, because when God has proposed, he has planned, this is my principle. God is a God of principle. God is a God of one mind. He does not move here and there. God cannot against himself. He works by principle, and that's why he's God. When you do this, it will happen like this. Look, God does not predestinate the destiny of any mankind or the destiny of any nations, but he has predestinated the destiny of, the outcome or the consequence of the action of every mankind. You that you are listening to me, God has not predestinated your destiny. But what has been predestinated is the consequence, the outcome of your action, your reaction, what you do, what you don't do. When you do this, this will be the result. That is standard. That's the principle of God. When you do this, this will be the result. So we are seeing the COVID-19 right now as a result of the nature, the social system reacting to the use that we, the mankind, will put them to. When we have adhered to the law of nature, the principle of nature, when we refuse to adhere, when we refuse to obey the principle of God put in place in relating, in treating the environment, this is what we see. And some of this is tantamount to disobedience to the principles and the instruction of God, the biblical principle, the universal law, the universal principle, the universal rules. So I'm trying to be a bit, of course, or how do I put it, a philosopher or something. No, not philosophical in this case, but to let us know what are the principles that God has put in place. So likewise, if out of confession of faith or positive confession or display of faith, which is great, which is good, if we neglect things, folding our hand, no problem, COVID-19 will not happen. Why we say COVID-19 is part of the prophetical agenda of God? It will happen. Prayer cannot stop that. So it will be very, very good and wise of us to start preparing for the second wave of COVID-19. All right. And how about if it does not happen? If it does not happen, you'll be on the safer side because you are prepared. And if it happens, you will be on the safer side because what? You are prepared. So it's more safer to prepare than not preparing. That's what we are saying. Okay, why are the world leader, the World Health Organization, even the WHO, World Health Organization, why are they the world scientists, why are they predicting or speculating there will be the second wave of COVID-19? Why? We treated that in the last broadcast. We have treated that in the last broadcast. The reason why, though the principle, what they put in place, and they know the facts and figures, interpreting the seasons and the timing are the events that normally accumulate in every season and time. So these are the reasons why they are predicting this. Okay. Now, what do you need to do? What do we need to do? Let us ask ourselves, when there is second wave of COVID-19, what do you think will follow? One of those things that will follow, like I said last time, some world leader now, they are declaring, like the Prime Minister of United Kingdom say, there could be some tougher measure. What sort of tougher measure? There could be extensive lockdown. As a matter of fact, lockdown could start as early as October. As early as October. While we are thinking we are coming out of one lockdown, another one could start as early as October. That may be brief, maybe 2 weeks. If all things being equal, they ease it a little, and by the time the winter properly kick in, December, January, severe lockdown, extended lockdown will take place. So when lockdown take place, the question you need to ask ourselves, what was our experience, reaction to the last or the first lockdown when it happened? What was it? Well, those are the type of things we need to ask ourselves and prepare for. One of those things is number one, panic buying, panic shopping, panic hoarding, panic selling. Okay? People started buying all manners of things, food items, toiletries, household needs, things that people think they will need if they happen to be locked down. Because we thought if lockdown happened, nobody will be allowed to go and shop and do things like this, the scarcity of food. So people started buying and piling up, rushing here and there, buying and piling up things we need, things we not need. Kept on buying, exactly food. Like I told you last time, I entered some supermarkets, all the shelves were empty. You can barely see certain things as they are stacking. People are packing, people are packing, people are packing, people are packing. Some people, so their bedroom, it became the food storage. They stack the food everywhere, as far as to the bedroom, where the kitchen, the living room could no longer contain. Stack everywhere, preparing that if this thing will last for the next 6 months, they are ready, they are prepared. So panic buying. While that was going on, the sellers, the greedy sellers, they started to hike the prices of goods and essential commodities. I remember one chicken that we used to buy for 2 or 3 for £5, $10. They were selling one for £5. One. Because they say, oh, they're trying to let people create fear in the heart of the people. Oh, by tomorrow when the lockdown kick off, oh, there will not be anything. There will not be anything. They're not buying. They use that to make money. And lo and behold, the lockdown commences. Shops or supermarkets especially were still allowed to open for a certain period of time. But in this case, now we have learned our lesson. If there be locked down, now that you are hearing, what do we need to do as per the preparation for the lockdown? Don't wait for the government to announce or for people to speculating there will be lockdown in the next 1 week. Now that you have heard, you are aware, start buying little things you will need and begin to hide up. The essential commodity you will need, the non-perishable food you will need, buy them where the prices are still available, when people are not grabbing here and there. Buy the little one you will need for your family. It's not because there will not be those things available, because in the next lockdown, remember there's going to be tougher measure or tough measure. One of those tough measures is the opening of supermarkets, the opening hours, and the rules and the orderliness of supermarkets will be controlled. The opening hours will be limited. Not only that, the 6-meter rule or 2-meter rules will be applicable. Not only that, the number of people that will be allowed to enter the supermarket will be reduced, drastically reduced in number at a time. As a result, there will be long queue of people waiting to shop, to buy. Not only that, the number of items you are allowed to buy per time will be reduced. Like the last time, at a point, the number of items was reduced to 1. Before 4, initially it was 4 items. So you can only buy 4 items. Maybe, for instance, you want to buy bread, you can only buy 4 loaves of bread. You want to buy milk, you can only buy 4 milk, pint of milk. At a point, it was reduced to 2. At a point, it was reduced to 1. So you go and buy 1. So family has to queue up and go back and queue up again. So all those things, you don't need to wait for that to happen. The little things you need right now, please, in a manageable way, not in a greedy way. Don't go and stack. A lot of people stock their house, pile up things they will not need. And by the time I heard of a couple in America, they pile up their house everywhere, full up. And when the lockdown came and commenced, and they discovered that everything continued, that supermarkets were open, they went back to the supermarket and they want to return everything they have bought, that they don't need them. And the supermarket people said, no, we don't need them. You bought them. They said, no, we bought them in agitation. That there will be. So we want to. They were claiming, they were threatening they are going to take the supermarket to the court and stuff like that. That was the last time I heard about it. But that was no, those people are just being kiddies anyway. Because what they bought, they don't need them. It was too much. You can imagine. So don't wait for the panic buying. The little ones you will need so that you don't enter part of the rush when people will be rushing to buy those little ones, like non-perishable food items, toiletries, washing liquids, those little things that will be needed. Buy in a manageable, considerable quantity. When I mean considerable, remember you have to consider others. So don't go and be stocking without considering and you are hoarding. Take note of that. And some of those things you also need to take note of is not this time around now, there is adequate information on what we need to do to prevent, to curb the spread of COVID-19. Among those things, the use of masks, the use of hand gloves, and the use of hand sanitizers. These are some of the things we need to do. So if you know that you will need hand sanitizer, because right now, and the use of mask now is a law, and face guard now is a law. In some places now has become law. In some places right now, now that it has become law, and there's so many companies now manufacturing mask, face guard, hand sanitizer. Because I remember, when the lockdown started and we are going when the lockdown was about to start, we went to every shop, every pharmacy store, everywhere. No single hand sanitizer available anymore. I remember the little hand sanitizer, the little bottle of hand sanitizer we normally pick up for £1 in store by then. Some people have cleared everything they bought them, and we went online. They were being sold for 30 pounds. Can you imagine? £1, somebody bought it for £1 client and put online for 30 pounds, and some people bought for 30 pounds. Can you imagine what you are saying? So, you don't need to wait. Those little, and I'm not giving I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sell information and sell idea to your mind of know the type of business, go and buy now and go and hold and sell at at a very extorted prices. No, please. Please. Let's try to be considerate. Don't be greedy. Don't exploit people in the name of, don't take advantage of situation. Yes, take advantage of the situation. Take the opportunity of the situation to better your lot, to start business, but don't take advantage of the situation to exploit people, please. Let's talk about that one. If you cheat other, you exploit other, you'll be cheated. Other will also cheat you, they will exploit you. That's the principle of life. What goes around truly and what goes not around. So let's take note of that. Okay, but what you need, and if need be, that you can be a blessing to neighbors and here and there, the little you need, the quantity you need, so that you don't engage in the rush buying, the panic buying, and also you will not be exploited with the greedy sellers, people that will buy and go and hoard and now make available when it's, of course, this time around there will not be the scarcity will be able to be managed in a certain quantity. Why? Because now there are so many companies manufacturing hand sanitizer, face mask. But when the lockdown commenced, you remember a lot of factories were also closed. As a result, they can only be distributing what they have manufactured, what will be stored. There will not be production. So as a result, there could be, at a point, depends on how long the lockdown will last, there could be some stores scarcity or shortage of supplies. And when there's shortage of supply or scarcity, you know what happens? Remember the law of demand and supply in economics, the price will go up. The prices go up. It's not even only people that are hoarding from the supplier, sellers, or manufacturer, the prices will go up. So it's just like that. So for you not to be a victim of the hike in prices, increase in prices as a sort of shortage or source supply, begin to buy little thing you need and keep just the manageable way, in a considerable way. Take note of that. That's number two. And number three, in preparation towards the lockdown, you know, the last lockdown just caught on everybody unaware, unprepared. The first time of its kind. We have never experienced it before. So a lot of people right now, we are developing what we call lockdown phobia. We have phobia towards lockdown now. Phobia towards lockdown. People doesn't want to come out anymore. You cannot imagine if it happens this second, if it happens this second time and happen to be the extensive one, prolonged one. So what do you think will happen to people? People will just develop phobia towards lockdown. I mean, towards going out, towards outing. People don't want to relate anymore. At a point, some children, for us to even take some children out for, it became so difficult. They don't even want to go out anymore. The children became so consciously aware that they said something outside there. They don't know what was it, what it was. They will not go out. Let's go out. They will not. I know some of my boys, some of my boys, I look at the air grew. So the boy will not come out to cut the air. Because even when the lockdown was eased, they will not come out. Because they have that phobia towards social interaction. Social interaction. You can imagine. So this is one of the things that will happen. So prepare your mind. If in the event of the second lockdown, you have to begin to prepare and educate yourself, educate your mind, and educate the family member that you don't become overphobia towards towards social interaction, here and there. Because at the point it go, the lockdown will be over. When the lockdown is over, no matter how long it is, our ability to integrate ourselves back into the society and to continue our normal life, the working life and stuff like that, whichever way the life will comes, whichever side of life we have by then. You can never tell. You can see the side of life we're having right now. Like I said in my broadcast when I said the lockdown and the anxiety and preparation of what we have post lockdown, life after the lockdown. I made us understand that then that the use of face mask, use of hands glove, and all those things happen. Government have never even said about it by then. I told you it's going to happen, and it happens. So in this one right now, that's the side of the life we are living right now. So in the next one, the post lockdown to come, the side of life that will happen by then, additional changes, additional measure, the other side of life we are going to embrace. We cannot predict right now, but as things evolve and unfold, we'll be telling us more and more, more and more, more and more. But while we're waiting for that, remember, stop it. Remember that proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Sorry, a call was trying to call me on the phone and my crew, they're trying to stop. Okay, thank you very much. So, proper planning prevents poor performance. Begin to plan both in terms of shopping, what you need to buy, little you need to buy right now. Don't wait until the rush hour, last minute.com. Don't wait for that so that you don't go into panic. You don't engage yourself in panic buying and stuff like that. Not only that, begin to prepare yourself emotionally. Not only that, begin to prepare yourself psychologically. Not only that, begin to prepare yourself financially. In the area of financial preparation, we'll be discussing about that in our next broadcast. Well, we stop here for today. My name is Solomon Bamidele. I hope this little interaction and chat have a bit sensitized, give you a kind of sensitization and bless you in any way. If that be the case, please just like us on Facebook, just press like and share. We encourage one another on YouTube, subscribe and press notification bell, and we keep on hearing about one another. Okay, until I come your way again, my name is Solomon Bamidele. Keep on staying safe and stay alive. God bless you. Thanks.